So Brock Turner, convicted of rape. This has been a huge story. His victim read her impact statement. It became hugely viral. His dad said some things.
Vice President Biden has come out and gave a beautiful tribute to her by echoing some of the words in her speech, in her victim statement. It was quite something.
Sure. So we remember people are outraged. His sentence was fairly light by the standards of maybe the offense that he was given. He was given a 6-month jail term. He'll just be in jail. And then he's going to have to be on a sex offender registry and do some probation. So we've learned now that in the jail, he's going to be in a population that's segregated from Gen Pop.
Right. Well, and this is quite common for sex offenders because sex offenders, as we all know from television, are targeted by the people, especially sex offenders who are as well known, have reached as much celebrity.
He's as notorious as they come.
As this guy gets, with the possible exception of Jared Fogle.
You got Fogle and Stanford Rapist neck and neck in a real race to the gross.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're both. I mean, I think Fogle's in the category.
way above
Fogle with child pornography is in a category of his own. But so he's going to be segregated from the population. They do this for good reason, right, Jason? They do this to keep them safe. The punishment that was levied by the court. We don't do vigilante justice in America.
Now, I know,
he's not trying to be subjected
to that point,
to
there are a lot of people
punishment.
watching this who are thinking, too bad. A guy rapes a woman. He should get what's coming to him in prison. Or otherwise, we saw that a lot with Jared Fogle. When we did the Jared Fogle discussions, most of the comments were, let the prison population at him. Don't give him give him segregation. That's just not the way we operate.
It's not the way we do
society.
it. People. I think I understand people's outrage, but sending him to prison and hoping that he gets raped is just not the way we do justice. Now, it is the way that Hammurabi did justice.
Right.
You had an eye for an eye, but we are much more civilized.
To that point, we could pass laws that said, in addition to having to serve jail time, you also have to be gang raped by a group of men.
Right.
That would be
if that
another
were part of his sentence.
That would be fine.
If the judge handed that down and selected a few handpicked rapists.
But if I've ever seen anything that constitutes cruel and unusual punishment, gang raped, I think, is right up there.
Yeah, but would you want to defend the Stanford rapist from the gang raping sentence that he was given?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dershowitz would. He defends everyone.
Would you defend him?
I don't think so.
I would.
I don't think I want
no problem with it.
Because I've always felt
now we're
that,
talking about defending him as
right.
lawyers.
Lawyers say everyone deserves a defense. It's one of the legal, the founding principles of our legal system. But do I want to give him my ivory tower Yale defense? I don't.
Oh, for God, that was so.
I don't think he's deserving
obnoxious.
of it. And I don't think he's deserving. I don't think he's deserving of that defense. That's why I've always disagreed with Dershowitz. I don't think they deserve Alan Dershowitz.
I'm reading the comments right now. Somebody just called you a douchebag for saying Hammurabi. So you can imagine what they're going to say after this.
The code of Hammurabi. I've always wanted to get that in.
Oh, he just had to say Hammurabi's code just to up the douchebaggery one last
All right, so sticking with
Stanford Rapist.
You want to stick with Stanford
Well,
Rapist?
no, I wanted to just talk about the fact that
you didn't want to move on.
That 6 months, but he may get out in 4, actually, right? Because there may be a reduction typical of California prisons.
Overpopulation.
Overpopulation. Nobody serves their full sentence unless that is the dictate of the jury or the judge. In this case, that was not the dictate. He was sentenced to 6. He's likely going to serve 4.
And is that a good behavior thing? And he'll get out maybe in 4 for good behavior. If he's in there and he's a menace, he's not getting out.
In this case, clearly not going to be a menace. He's going to get out in 4. He will be reintroduced into society. To Derek's point, he will be on a sex offender registry, I believe, for the rest of his life.
He will be on a sex offender registry for the rest of his life, and a lot of people are saying this one crime will follow him the rest of his life. Really, that's not the fault of the sex offender registry. That's the fault of the internet age. Whenever you look or think of
the guy
Brock Turner,
who finger raped a woman,
and it's also the fault of the man who put his dirty fingers in a woman who was unconscious while she lay next to a dumpster.
Yes.
That's the real fault.
I
think we need to keep that all.
That's the real fault. So he'll be out in 4. And for those of you who are outraged, we all are, I think, to some degree, by the fact that he's only going to serve 4 months of a sentence for raping a woman. His life is ruined.
Rest assured, he will pass
so
no
if there's
background
any
checks.
solace to be had from that, he will not go to a law school.
He can't go to the Olympics. They've already announced. No, he had Olympic ambitions.
He can't even be a member of the U.S. Swim organization. So his life, in many ways, is ruined. Possibly not nearly as badly as hers, depending on how she recovers. But nevertheless,
what did he have to say about the victim?
No, what do you have to say about the victim?
Well, it's a tragedy for sure.
I think it was awful. I think her life has also been transformed and turned upside down by this incident. I don't think it's something that you get over. I think she is going to face this for the rest of her life as well.
I agree. To find silver linings, she can become a spokesperson for victims' rights. She can really be a motivator for other women who are put in similar positions. He will never be that
And you know the
person.
real heroes? Give it up for the Swedes. The Swedes on the bikes.
Two Swedish
Two
bikers.
Swedish people. They're green. They're on bikes. You know,
And they see this rape happening, and they
the
rode
unsung
up,
heroes.
and they stopped what from turning an awful situation into something that could have been even more horrific for everybody involved, frankly.